What does it mean when USCIS says cases actively being reviewed? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. In today's video, we're going to talk about the online updates that USCIS is happy to send you by email or if you log into their web portal. A lot of people get hung up on these messages, particularly they want to know, Jim, what does actively being reviewed mean? Well, you know what it doesn't mean? It doesn't mean that your case is being actively reviewed. It's just a holding place. Now, in order to understand what goes on at USCIS, let me walk you through the process of what happens after you file a case with the USCIS lockbox. Now, when you send in your application, you put it all together, you make it as strong as possible, you submit all your evidence, you organize it, you keep copies because Jim told you always keep a copy of everything you sent to USCIS. You put it all in this nice little package, you pay for Federal Express or UPS so that you have proof of delivery. Once it gets delivered to the lockbox, whichever one is applicable for your kind of case, that's going to be in a big stack of lots of other applications that come in that day. They all get opened up. They all get assigned a case number, and these are all contractors who are hired by the federal government to process these applications. They're scanned in, and then USCIS begins processing the case. And there are various stages in the pipeline between when you file and when you get your interview or when you get your benefit. USCIS has made it so that you can track that either by signing up for electronic email updates or by logging into their web portal. When a case reaches a certain stage, there's some person at USCIS, whether a contractor or an actual employee, who clicks a button. And when they click that button, that moves the case into the next phase, the next stage of processing. So after you file your application, your application has been received. Then you get your biometrics notice has been sent, which is your fingerprinting. Then you get biometrics have been completed. Then it shifts sometime after that to actively being reviewed. Now, if you spend any time on our Immigrant Home Facebook group or in any of the other places where you can talk to other immigrants going through the immigration process, they'll all tell you that actively being reviewed is really just a holding pattern. It's where cases go to die. It's where cases sit forever. It doesn't mean that anybody's looking at your case. Nothing is actively being reviewed at all. It's only being reviewed when it's right before the next stage, which is interview notice has been scheduled or interview notice has been sent. So don't get hung up on actively being reviewed. It most likely does not mean that your case is being actively reviewed. As you'll see over time, depending on how busy your USCIS field office is, your case will not most likely be being actively reviewed and in fact is just sitting somewhere on someone's desk. So don't get hung up on it. Just know that it's really, the case is on hold. That's what that really means. And, after having spent the last 15 years working with immigration and in fact suing immigration for immigration delays, I can tell you that I've talked to numerous clients and numerous immigrant friends who wanted to know, what does this mean, actively being reviewed? And this is what I've come to learn after having seen cases stay in that status for 3 months, for 6 months, for 9 months, for 12 months, for 2 years. You don't believe me? Just wait and see. So hopefully your case will one day be actively reviewed, but most likely if USCIS is telling you that it is, that means that it probably isn't. It's just sitting around somewhere. Hope this makes sense. Now listen, if you're thinking about going through the immigration process and you want to hire an immigration law firm, you should give us a call, 314-961-8200. Or if you want to hire us, you can email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If not, we have a lot of free resources that we would love for you to take advantage of. One is our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the channel so that whenever we make a new video like this one, you're the first one to know. And we also have our Immigrant Home Facebook group. If you want to join us in there, there's lots of people talking about cases, asking questions, trying to get their case moving or learning more information about the immigration process. Join us there. It's free. It's called Immigrant Home. And if you just type that into the search bar on Facebook, you'll find it. Finally, don't forget, 3 or 4 times a week, we're going live in our Immigration Answers show, which is on our YouTube channel and in that Immigrant Home Facebook group. If you have any other questions that you want to ask me, we don't charge for that. It's just a free service that we do 3 or 4 times a week. You can find that by going to our YouTube channel or to the Immigrant Home Facebook group, and you'll find the link to the next show. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.